Morning, Unity of Sarasota. We're going to start off with an Angie Cat song called That's Who I Am. Some days I forget who I'm supposed to be, and yet there's a voice deep inside. When I choose to listen, open up to what's hidden in every heart, a spark so bright. I am the love, I am the faith, I am the faith that never gives up. I shine in the dark, I stand tall, I'm a beacon of light when all hope is lost. An ocean in a tiny drop, that's who I am. Look in the mirror, could it be any clearer? I am more than I seem, not just a number I'm here to discover, called to be everything I can be. I am a light, I am the love, I am the faith that never gives up. I shine in the dark and I stand tall. I'm a beacon of a light when all hope is lost. An ocean in a tiny drop, that's who I am. That's who I am. I cannot hide one part of the whole. A symphony needs every note. I am a light, I am the love, I am the faith that never gives up. I shine in the dark and I stand tall. I'm a beacon of light when hope is lost. An ocean in a tiny drop, an ocean in a tiny drop, an ocean in a tiny drop, that's who I am. Good morning.
Thank you. Rob Satori doing an Angie Cat song, That's Who I Am. That's who I am. Had the honor of playing music with her as well.
That's great.
Yeah.
All the big ones.
All the big ones. Yeah. Good morning. I'm Reverend Dr. Susie Shadle. I welcome you to Unity of Sarasota, where something wonderful is happening right here and right now. It's happening where we are. It's happening where you are. It's happening everywhere because we are interconnected. We are one. Therefore, the good spreads itself out all over all of us. And so we're happy to have you joining your energy with ours. We welcome those of you who are joining us this morning on our live broadcast, our live stream, on our Unity website. That's unityofsarasota.org. And also those of you joining us on Facebook Live on our Facebook page. Wherever you may be physically and wherever you may be in your spiritual journey, you are welcome to join with us on this journey. The path is always made more powerful and more fun when we make the journey together. Unity of Sarasota is a beacon of light and love, opening minds, touching hearts, and transforming lives. We are an inclusive spiritual community that embraces empowering and life-affirming practical spirituality for richer living right here and right now. And we join our unity movement worldwide in creating a world that works for all. And my friends, if there was a time for the world to work for all, it is now. So I would suggest we get busy in making that happen. I would also ask if you would let your friends on social media know about Unity of Sarasota. So click all the loves, the likes, the shares, all the clicks you can click, and invite them to join us on our live stream on Sunday mornings at 10:30, also on Facebook Live. Also to join us at 9 a.m. live and in person under the portico in front of the sanctuary. 9 a.m., bring your beach chair. The CDC says since we're distanced outside, we no longer have to wear masks outside as long as we're distanced. So bring your beach chair and come on. It's really a beautiful time together outside. You actually get to see real people live and in person. Yeah, it's a miracle. It's a miracle. And then again, Wednesday evening, 7 o'clock, we have our music and inspiration service. That's a little more quiet, contemplative type service. And that's at 7 p.m. on Wednesday evenings. Live stream also from the sanctuary on our website, unityofsarasota.org, and our Facebook page, Facebook Live. Also want to let you know that there are lots of things happening, lots of things going on that you can get involved in, engaged in. We have lots of small groups, classes, even yoga and Tai Chi and all those kinds of things that are interactive. So you interact with the facilitator and each other, not just a one-way sort of communication. So we invite you to get involved in that. You can find that again at the website, unityofsarasota.org. If you haven't already, sign up for the newsletter, Unity Spirit Express, and that will keep you most abreast of everything that's happening, everything that's going on. You do want to stay tuned to that. We are setting the intention and being in prayer that we open to in-person services in June. So that is our intention and our prayer. The only thing that would interrupt that is if there is a big surge of new cases of COVID or new strains or whatever. If the news is not wonderful, then we would respond to that appropriately. But other than that, let's all be in prayer and intention that we're back in this space in June. But stay tuned. There will be instructions. It won't be just show up. You will need to register so that we make sure that we don't have too many people at any one service. We'll have as many services as we need to accommodate everyone. So please stay tuned about all of that. Also, I want to give a shout out to our building and grounds team who were here yesterday, keeping the building in good repair, good maintenance, and also keeping the grounds absolutely beautiful. They're working on some fabulous gardens right now out by the Labyrinth and over at the small building, the Enlightenment Center. This place it just looks fabulous, and we're keeping it that way, and we invite you to come and be part of that. It's actually a fun opportunity to interact with people in a safe way and get a great lunch and a little bit of exercise and fresh air. So that's an opportunity. So once again, thank you to all of the building and grounds team. We appreciate you. And I also want to give a shout out to Diane Raffoni, who shared these gorgeous flowers with us today. So we appreciate Diane and wish her well on a journey. She's off on a journey, and we wish her safe travels. Okay, and one other thing. If you go to our website and look at the Contribute tab, you'll see all the various ways, or you can look on the newsletter, all the various ways that you can continue to support this spiritual community. And we do appreciate your gifts. And so this is our opportunity to remind ourselves that we do live in an abundant universe, and we have a gracious God who supports us in bringing all the good that we need to flow to us and through us and back out again. And so I would invite you to consider from your heart what gift feels right for you to give. It might be a blessing, a prayer. It might be to share your talent on a building and grounds day, perhaps. Or it might be a check. It might be cash. It might be a credit card number. It might be doing it electronically online there at the website. Whatever that may be, hold your gift to your heart and infuse it with the power of love, abundance of every nature, presence of spirit, harmony, peace, anything that resonates most with you, any of the the spiritual qualities that most resonate with your own heart. Infuse that energy into your gift and know that that energy travels with your gift and accumulates more of that energy as it flows. And know that we appreciate in great gratitude every gift and every intention. And so let's just give thanks for the blessings together. Thank God within and all around us. Amen. So put that there. And so let's get ourselves settled and fully present and open in prayer. And so I invite you to close your eyes or create a soft focus, soft gaze. Allow yourself to relax into your chair. Imagine that it is the heart of God holding you. And as is our practice, let's take a deep breath in to the very center of our being, that place where spirit resides and overflows around us. And then release that prayer, that breath, which is a prayer. Release that breath fully. And once again, breathe in deeply. Allow this breath to fill your heart with the presence of God. And breathe out fully. And breathing in deeply. Allow this breath to gently massage your heart. And exhale fully. And know that this reminds us that we are always in the divine flow and circulation of the goodness of God. The inspiration, the in-breath of Spirit. Each time we breathe in the very experience of Father, Mother, God, Spirit. And each time we exhale, we breathe out our own individualized expression of that one Spirit. While we express ourselves in a multitude of diversity, individuality, uniqueness, we remain one in the unity of all creation, for there is only one, that one is God. We are a living expression of that one, filled to overflowing with the presence of God. Each one of us is endowed with God-given gifts, not to be held, but to be shared. Each one of us is here on purpose to express those gifts as expansively as we possibly can. We are spirit expressing, individually, collectively. We are one. One with Father, Mother, God, Spirit, one with one another, for there is only one, only one. I am grateful for the remembrance of this truth of who we are. And so it is. And together we say, thank God within and all around us. Amen. Our daily word today is thankful. The affirmation, thankfulness is my heart's natural expression. Thankfulness is my heart's natural expression. Take that in and whisper it to yourself. Own it. Thankfulness is my heart's natural expression. I need no special reason to be thankful, no list of blessings to inspire gratitude. Unity author Reverend Eric Butterworth wrote, "One can be grateful with the same spontaneity as being happy. It simply flows forth from within and becomes a causative energy. With a thankful mind and heart, I release worry and frustration, trusting that my every need will be met. I discover more of God's presence in myself and others everywhere I go. I see possibilities for good, even in challenging circumstances. Eager to share my thankfulness, I welcome opportunities to be of service to others, just as I gratefully accept blessings shared with me. I live in the flow of life, love, peace, and abundant beauty. Just look around. Abundant beauty. I am thankful. And our scripture comes from 1 Thessalonians 5:18. Give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you. And again, the affirmation, thankfulness is my heart's natural expression. And so, if you have one of these little sheets at home, you can speak our statement of being with me. Otherwise, just allow these words to deeply permeate your entire being. There's only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God, who is perfect life, perfect intelligence, perfect love, and perfect substance. I am an individualized expression of God. You are an individualized expression of God. We are individualized expressions of God.
You ready? Let's do a fun song and get this rolling off a little bit.
Hey, so this one is Eddie Watkins Jr.
Anything is possible when you believe.
When you believe.
Anything is possible when you believe. Yeah, anything is possible when you believe. Now faith can make a mountain move when you believe. Oh, faith can make a mountain move when you believe. You can change your life. Don't you know you change your life when you believe? Now don't you know that you can change your life when you believe? Well, who do you believe in? In yourself. In yourself. Yourself. In yourself. You're gonna make a miracle. You're gonna make a miracle when you believe. Oh, now you're gonna make a miracle when you believe. Well, you're gonna make a miracle when you believe. Everything you want, everything you want, you got. When you believe, you want it, you got it. Now everything you want, you got. When you believe, you want it, you got it. In yourself. In yourself. In yourself. In yourself. When you believe, oh, we can make a miracle. When you believe, miracle, oh, we can make a miracle. When we believe, oh. Yeah, now I believe in me. I believe in you. When we believe in each other, there ain't nothing we can't do. Oh, no, we can make a miracle when we believe. Yeah, we can make a miracle when we believe. Well, now we can make a miracle when we believe. Yeah, we can make a miracle when we believe. Well, there you go. We're gonna
Make a miracle when you believe. Whew. I will be so happy when, thank you, Rob, for doing that song. I will be so happy when we are able to move into some sense of whatever the new normal is, but it will include us being together and being able to invite Eddie Watkins Jr. back to do some of his songs for us again. And I know last time he was here and did a great concert, Rob played with him, so thank you for that. Thank you for bringing the sneak preview, I guess, sneak preview back. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. So at Easter, I talked about us rising in love and light. And since then, I have been focusing on the idea of after rising in love and light, then what? Because the truth is, we don't stop rising in love and light. We continue to rise in love and light. We continue to be more expansive in that. And so this month I chose to say, how does that continue to unfold, that rising in love and light? And so the first week after Easter, we focused on the idea of awakening to our passion, to what moves us, and fanning the flame of that passion so that we can focus that flame to greater purpose. And so the second week, last week, I spoke about discovering that purpose, that purpose that gives direction and movement to that passion that we feel, that moves us, and to take that and then move into the world. And so today, I want to talk about living on purpose, because living on purpose is the path to its unfoldment, and it is the promise of fulfillment. Actually, living on purpose is the path and the promise. And so I'll begin, as I usually do, with our community core value affirmation. I'm hoping to ingrain these in us so that they become second nature to us, that they become part of our being from inside out. And so our community core value affirmation this week is, we embody Christ consciousness and live from the awareness that God is within and all around us. We are one with the one infinite, eternal Creator. Now, given this whole idea that we are called to continue evolving in that rising in light and love and awakening to our passion, to what moves us, and discovering our purpose, what will move that passion, today I do want to focus on the path and the promise of that passion and purpose. Because I fully believe with all my being that we are here to awaken to that passion and to discover the purpose and to activate the path of its unfoldment and to live as the promise of its fulfillment. Not to live in the promise, but to live as the promise of its fulfillment. And we begin where it's always a great place to begin. We begin by giving our time to Father, Mother, God, Spirit in communion with the divine, to spend time in the presence deep within us, to spend time there in the quiet and the silence, in the presence of God. And it is there that we are able to awaken to that passion, to what moves us from the inside out. And as I've said before, the passion doesn't have to be flamboyant and boisterous. The passion can be a very quiet passion, a very smoldering ember, if you will. That passion is really about what moves us, what animates us, what inspires us emotionally, what gets us charged up and excited to be alive. And in that time, in the presence within, in that communion with Spirit, we also have the opportunity to discover our purpose, our calling, that which we are called to by Spirit itself. And we're given gifts. God gives us gifts to move the energy of our passion. And those are all clues to our purpose for being. Our entire life is a gift from God. What we do with it is our gift to God, our gift to life itself. Life is an art. Life is an art, and our obligation is to discover and express our particular art form. Living from our passion and our purpose is the path and the promise. That is the path and the promise. And I want to share a quote from one of my most favorite philosophers, unknown. And the first part of this quote I used last week as well, but I'm going to give you the whole quote this week. So I think this is important in the idea of living from our passion and purpose, and that being the path and the promise. Each of us is born with a specific genius that was bestowed upon us so that we can do our part to make the world a better place. All of us have a role that we're uniquely suited for. It's important for all of us to try to find our special gift and discover how we can best express it. Our unique gifts are like golden rays of expression that can encircle the world with light. Explore these riches that are yours to express, and you may find yourself helping others discover and develop their own blessings. Acknowledge and appreciate the gifts you see in those around you. You see, when we share the gifts, we are blessed and we are a blessing. And we receive blessings from others who discover and share their gifts. And the more we acknowledge each other in that, the greater the gifts become. We're called to live who we have come here to be. And out of that beingness to do what we're called to do. But it's always be first, then do. And too often we have it the other way around. Do, and then we'll be okay. Start with being. Discover and be who you've come here to be. The doingness will arise out of that. Some of the questions you might ask yourself to help discover all of that is, what matches my core values, the things that are most important to me? What talents and skills do I have that I can use to serve others? And where and how can my serving have the maximum positive impact? Giving and doing out of our whole beingness is the path, and it is the promise. Eric Butterworth wrote, "Giving is basically an attitude with which you touch things. Life is not lived from the outside in, but from the inside out. Unless we understand this, we miss the whole meaning of life. The purpose of life is not acquisition, but unfoldment and personal development. Givers are convinced that life is a giving process. Thus, their subtle motivation is in all their ways is to give themselves away in love, in service, and in all the many helpful ways they can invest themselves. That is the path, and that is the promise, my friends. Giving of those gifts from the inside out. To give of our whole beingness from who we have come here to be. Full out, no stop. Full out. Embrace and embody the presence of the sacred within and choose to contribute by expressing that sacred presence from the inside out. The purpose of passion and purpose is to answer the call to serve. And by our service, we are fulfilled and joy-filled. What we give and do for another, we give and do for ourselves because we're interconnected. We're all one. We are one interconnected wholeness. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "It is one of the beautiful compensations of life that no one can sincerely try to help another without helping himself." So just know that. Anytime you give of yourself, you're not depleted, you're enriched. And activating and walking the path of purpose is a cradle-to-grave journey of discovery. It never stops. We're ever evolving, ever awakening. And that is the promise and the fulfillment. The joy of living from the inside out, not the outside in. Stephen Levine wrote, "Buddha left a roadmap. Jesus left a roadmap. Krishna left a roadmap. Rand McNally left a roadmap." I couldn't say that to a young audience because they go, huh? What about GPS? I'm going to have to change that. GPS left a roadmap. MapQuest left a roadmap. Google Maps left a roadmap. But here's the important part, but you still have to travel the road yourself. And better still, perhaps you create a roadmap. You create a roadmap, a new way to go. But before embarking upon the path, before embarking upon that road, telling your life what you intend to do with it, stop and listen for what your life intends to do with you. You might be surprised. It might be a bigger vision than the one you have for yourself right now. And the discipline of spiritual practice lets your life speak to you from that inner knowing and truth of your authentic being in order to live your authentic life. Spiritual practice is the path, and it is the promise of passion and purpose. So I want to talk about that path of spiritual practice for a moment. And it always begins with the journey inward, mastering ourself, our highest self, as a way of being and knowing who we be. And the practices that support that journey inward are meditation, connecting with God and listening, and prayer, which is affirming the good of God that we've been listening to and speaking back to God in that affirmation, having a conversation with God. Another practice is visioning, listening deeply in a meditative state to catch Spirit's vision for our lives, to catch the thoughts of God. And then we move to the place of center, the place at the center of our being, where we embrace and embody our relationship with God and with our highest self and with others as a way of knowing truth. One of the practices that can help us there at the place of center is to worship in the sense of awe and wonder, knowing God and self and others and all of creation as an act of love. If you look all around you at creation, all around the world, all around us every day, we can't help but be in awe and wonder and to worship the creation that took place, and it was an act of love. Another practice at the place of center is spiritual study, training our minds, aligning with wisdom and divine guidance. And finally, the journey outward, which is the action that comes out of beingness as a way of doing. And the practices of the journey outward are sacred service, acknowledging our unity and our oneness and love in service to one another. Witnessing, being present with one another through all the transitions of our lives, not to advise or to direct or instruct, but to witness, to bear witness, to hold consciousness. Another practice is conscious giving of our time in communion with God, giving of our talents, those God-given talents, to share them beyond ourselves, and our treasure, the abundant good that comes to us and through us and back out again to continue to flow. And finally, celebration, expressing God as joy in us. And if we go far enough on that inner journey, we go past the ego directly to the truest self, to our most authentic being, and we live in the integrity of our outsides and our insides matching. We live congruently. Insides and outsides match. That's what it is to be in integrity. So that what you see on the outside is also what is on the inside. And when we do that, when we make that inward journey and stay for a time at the place of center and then move outward into the world with all that has been gained there, we experience being blessed by our own authenticity, and we express the blessing of that authentic beingness in service to others. And so rising out of spiritual practice, communion with Father, Mother, God, Spirit, we discover the deepest call, our deepest call, is to grow into our authentic self and to find our authentic path of service to our world, to find that place where our deep gladness meets the world's needs. And the world needs people who have the patience to discover their passion and purpose and the willingness to activate the path of its unfoldment, thereby living as the promise of its fulfillment. And here's what's so important. We are the gifts God created. We, each one of us, all of us, we are the gifts that God created. From the ancient Greek, the word human means to be the dispenser of God's gifts. We are the gift that we're dispensing. We are the gift. Give it away liberally. As we discover the seed of our true self that is planted in this soil of our soul by God itself, we discover more about the ecosystem into which we've been planted. The ecosystem, the network of communal relationships that we call community. And only as we embrace self and community can we embody the call to love both neighbor and ourselves. We must embrace all of it to answer that call to be the presence of love. As we prepare to open to in-person services and gatherings, I beseech you, don't look back. We're not going there. Don't look back. We're not going there. We are called to go forward, to co-create with Father, Mother, God, Spirit, and one another what our next experience is as Unity of Sarasota. We're called to move forward, to evolve forward. When our doors had to close because of COVID, I ask you to consider that another door was opening. We hear that saying all the time. When one door closes, another door opens, or at least a window opens. But when the doors had to close because of COVID, I want you to consider that the world opened us up to new and infinite possibilities, even during the pandemic. There have been silver linings and gold strands and good things that have come out of it as well. Yes, it's been challenging and devastating on many levels, and yet there have been gifts in all of it as well. And so I would invite you, as part of your homework this week, to consider what are the silver linings, what are the gifts in the midst of the challenge of this pandemic, and focus your energy and attention on the gifts and on the possibilities rather than on the devastation. Consider that the world has opened us up to new and infinite possibilities. Don't look back. We're not going there. We're going forward, co-creating. And this sanctuary is a perfect metaphor for exactly what I'm talking about. This brand new, newly renovated sanctuary was built upon the foundation of Unity of Sarasota, and yet it is brand new with infinite possibilities. And that's what we're called to do, to build upon the foundation of Unity of Sarasota, but to move into new and infinite possibilities as we co-create together. We're social beings, and we've been missing that. We're social beings created in and for community, to be there for each other in love, to be in love with each other, to be there in service to one another, to be in this together. And so as we rejoin one another in spiritual community, we're called to move forward, to create something that hasn't existed before upon the foundation. It said, upon this rock I build my church. Upon this rock we continue to build, and we continue to grow and to evolve. And as we love and serve from our true self, we begin to realize it's not work at all. It actually energizes and renews our spirits for that new and infinite possibility. And so I would ask you, here's another piece of your homework for this week. Consider what's calling for the expression of your passion and your purpose here. What is being called forth from you? And how might you share the gifts that you've been given through loving service in community? We're all called to both lead and to follow into our greater yet to be as Unity of Sarasota. Unity of Sarasota, strong, not back, forward. And so I invite you to contemplate what's being called forth in you as an individual and what's being called forth in us collectively as spiritual community into that greater yet to be. And so blessings on your journey of rising in light and love. Awaken to your passion, discover your purpose, activate the path of its unfoldment, and live as the promise of its fulfillment. And so it is. And together we say, thank God within and all around us. Amen.
So blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed. So blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so. Everybody sing. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so so grateful, I am so blessed. Nice harmony on that, thanks.
It's a Karen Drucker song. And I just want to remind you that we have our live stream from the sanctuary on Wednesday evening on the website unityofsarasota.org. The theme this week is attention, and the music will be brought to you by Elaine Silver and myself. And so we just want to thank you for joining your energy with ours this morning. We'll see you on Wednesday, 7 p.m., Sunday, 9 a.m., live and in person with your beach chairs out under the portico in front of the sanctuary, and Sunday, 10:30, live stream from the sanctuary, also on Facebook Live. Oh, and one other little announcement for those of you who are paying attention. We will no longer be doing Facebook Live out in the portico. So you need to be here or be here. These are your choices, be here, or you wait till 10:30 and stay in your jammies. But soon, I just want to say, but soon, you know what? I was going to say you need to get out of your jammies, and when we have in-person services and gatherings, be here indoors in this beautiful new sanctuary. However, hey, if you want to come in your pajamas, do so. And if enough of you do it, I'll come in mine too, and so will Rob, because we threatened to do it before, and we actually did,
We
right?
did that.
Remember? We did it on
Yes.
Father's Day. We came in our pajamas so that we might embarrass David, who was doing the talk that day. So come in your pajamas, your shorts, your cut, whatever. I don't care. Come when we open, but pay attention to the directions because we're going to open safely. So be in prayer, June. And in the meantime, let's do our prayer for protection, and followed by the peace song. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be with God, our Creator. Family, all are we. Yes, we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every breath I take, yes, this is my joyous vow to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me.
Yes.
Yes.
Blessings on your journey, rising in light and love. Namaste.
Namaste.